You are an entrepreneur and you're studying entrepreneurship. So before we get started, I just want to take a second and I want you to think about your entrepreneurship journey currently, in the past, and think about where you're going in the future. I want you to take a second to think about that. And once you have it in your thought process, I want you to give me a snap. Okay. Anybody have any positivity with their entrepreneurship journey? Give me one word to describe your entrepreneurship journey. Anybody? Go ahead. Growing. Okay. Come on, Brandy. Okay. Progressive. I heard progressive.
You said positive.
Okay, negative. Let me. Okay. What's going on? Okay. Let me switch over to negative. Positive, negative.
Any comments on it? I was gonna say, not easy. Well, that's not
easy.
But,
Okay. I get you. Not easy. Okay, I agree. Learning. And if you do have a word and you hear me in the chat on Teams, go ahead and drop your word in the chat because we really want to know that word. We have a great speaker here today with us. And I'm going to give you a short background because she's standing up here next to me, so I can't even do a sneak and introduce. But this is Professor Cathy Trinh. She's a dedicated college professor here at Tarrant County College, and she's a business owner. She owns a business by the name of Trinh Consulting Group. She's a three-time, not one, not two, but three-time award-winning business advisor recognized by the America's Small Business Development Center. She is also a recipient of such a great award here at TCC. She's a recipient of the TCC Chancellor Excellence Award. Not only does she work here, beyond her academia, she's also a TV host at SBT in Dallas and a radio host at Radio Saigon, Dallas 1160 AM. So if you ever want to hear her on the radio, that is where she's located. You can find her and listen to her. And she actively contributes entrepreneurial ecosystem as a trainer, advisor, and judge for the Fort Worth Business Plan Competition and serves as a Vietnamese language presenter for Global Entrepreneurship Week. Now, outside of all of that, she has a family. She's a working mom, wife. She's traveled to 25 countries. She's a world traveler. She's a gourmet cook. I'm hungry thinking about that. And she is a lifelong learner. And I think that just sums up everything. And so I would like to formally introduce to some and present to others, Professor Cathy Trinh.
Thank you so much, everybody. Can you all hear me? The in-person and the online people. Yes, the online people, please put yes in the chat. Okay, so they say yes, which means that they could hear it. Good. So you all know that I had to stay right here on my laptop because of technical issue. We had to abandon the old team link and we start a new team link on my laptop. So I had to be all the way up here. I really would love to come, and interact with you, but I had to up here so that the online people can hear me. So as long as they can hear me, it's all good. All right, can we go to the next slide, please? So for the online attendee, a little bit about online etiquette. What we need you is to mute your microphone, okay? And then if you have something that to question that you need to ask, you want to put in the chat. So, so Gretchen, can we go to the next slide, please? Oh, it's not okay. All right, so I know that the online people can see my my next slide. So I'm to show you how Microsoft Teams works. If you have never used Microsoft Teams, so there is the chat bubble right there. If you want to put in the chat. So if you could hear me, what you want to do right now is I want you to introduce yourself and then put it in the chat so that I know how you can use it, okay? And if you wonder like how many people online, we have 102 people registered for this event. 35 of those registered to be in person and about 65 registered online. So we have definitely heavy on the online community. And I apologize for the late start. It's scheduled to start at noon, but because our technical issue, we spent some time, but at least the in-person people, did you have a good lunch? Yes, all right. So here my promise, because of time delay, I had to move a little faster, but no worry. I will PDF this presentation and then I will give it to Felicia and she will email to you all. So you don't have to take picture or anything like that. Um, and uh, and then there's a lot of resources. And then I promise that after the event's over, if you need to go up to your daily, you can. If you want to stay behind and take pictures, selfie, ask me question. I know my student Andrea, she drove an hour to come here to see me. So I got to get a picture with her and the rest of you guys, of course. All right, next slide, please. So go to the slide number 3. So this slide is just to help you to slide number 3. So please, to help you to understand how to navigate the online environment. Okay. All right. So I will go to the agenda. All right. So here the agenda. And Felicia, there may be a chance that we cannot control the screen. And if that's the case, maybe we can print out the handout. You have the thing, and then we can give it everybody in person so that they know where I'm at. So that's the one thing about being an entrepreneur. There's always challenge and obstacle, and we will never give up, right? We did find a way to work around it, right, y'all? All right. So here, oh, okay. All right. So here the agenda. Can everybody see the agenda? All right. You gotta be louder so the online people can hear you. Yes. All right. So here's the agenda. Like I said, we are a little bit late. So the first 15 minutes, I wanted to dedicate it for student introduction, but looked like that we probably had to cut it short to like 5 minutes with volunteer. Okay. And then I was dedicated about 45 minutes for presentation. I will spend time on question and answer. And then at the end, for the online people, there is a sign a link that you can sign in and you can put your mailing address, and TCC Connect would love to mail you our promotional item. And then there's an evaluation survey that you can tell us, how you like the event, what can be better. And then there's an opportunity for you to give review if you would like to. And then closing, I try to close at 1:30 because we all have another place to go to, right? All right, so let's do that. So a quick introduction, you already hear opening word from me. So hello everybody again, my name is Professor Cathy Trinh. I am a TCC Connect management instructor. I teach business management and entrepreneurship. Who's in this crowd is my student? Raise your hand. Okay, only Andrea, that's it? Okay, all right, excellent. Looking forward to have you, Brandy. On top of that, I am program coordinator of our TCC Connect program, 3 programs to be exact, entrepreneurship, business, and management. And I'm the president of our Connect Faculty Association. And then let's spend about 5 minutes for introduction, okay? I can only take like 3 volunteers at the most because we are really over time. So I want you to tell us your name, your major, if you already have a business you want to start, and then what do you want to get out this webinar, okay? So who want to go? And I will give you a microphone and speak loudly so the online people can hear you. Anybody volunteer? Nobody? Seriously? Come on, you gotta volunteer. All right, here's my student from the past semester, Andrea Hamilton.
My name is Adrian Hamilton. I am taking entrepreneurship and small business management 1. I currently have a business of 35 years with Barbara Dallas. I am taking these classes to start a new business, a business solution service. And I'm also a tax preparer.
Thank you so much. What do you want to get out of this presentation, Andrea?
I want to get some knowledge on grant writing and business plan writing.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, we have 1 volunteer, and I'm gonna check with the online attendee. So my online attendee, can you hear what Andrea said?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, excellent. All right, let's go to the next slide. So I thought I start my presentation to give you a little of understanding about my story. Why do I do what I do? Okay, so in the picture, you can see the picture of me growing up as a little girl. I'm that little girl right here. And the reason why I want to show you the story because we all have a story, right? We all here all have a why. Why do we do this thing or that thing? So I was born. My story is I was born and raised in rural Vietnam, and we were really poor when I grew up. As a matter of fact, I grew up in a house with no running water and no electricity until I was second grade, and then our life get better. And the reason why that our life get better, and the reason why that I will be able to be in front of you doing what I do, because my parents, those two people, they start several business. They also fail at several businesses. Okay, so it's not like everything they start they become successful. That's not how it works. But the business that they were successful enabled them to lift the whole family out of extreme poverty. Okay, um, send all the three children to United States for education, create a lot of job and impact for the community that they live in, and also retire at the age of 50. So I saw that with my own eyes, and I saw that entrepreneurship and education is a vehicle that can transform your life, that can take you to a better place. And that's my why. Why do I choose to teach business entrepreneurship? Why do I choose to start this workshop, and why do I choose to pick this particular topic, which means business plan, to help you be successful in the business? That's my why. So now, fast forward many years later, now my house have running water and electricity. And here is my story now. You also hear some from our opening word. So, all right, so I realized that what happened is they cannot control the PowerPoint. I had to do it over here. I think I finally get the whole of it. All right. So I put a slide of my family because I don't want you to relate to me as Professor Trinh. Okay. I am more than just Professor Trinh. We are more than just a student. Okay. I want you to meet my family. I want you to relate to me as a human being who have a family, who have children, to have normal problem like anybody. So you can all already read all that. If you wonder like what's Miss Trinh like to do in her free time. I love to cook and I love to travel, and that is my hobby. On top of that, I volunteer at the judge of Forward Business Plan competition. During the Global Entrepreneurship Week, I was the only Vietnamese language presenter to make it global on top of Spanish language. And then I have won many awards at my consulting job for the Terrence Small Business Development Center. And over here is some of the accolade and the student review that I received for my work. And here is some of the picture when I was interviewed by TV. And the reason why I want to share with you, y'all, is because we do not have to end up where we started. I told you my story. I was born and grow up in a house with no running water. I thought that my life will be stuck in that village for the rest of my life. But little I know, entrepreneurship and education really give me a better life. And I want the same thing for you all, okay? If you are in a great place in your life, that's wonderful. Go out and help more people. But if not, I know a lot of my students, they're not in a great place right now for whatever circumstances. Remember, it's not your fault where you start, okay? I didn't choose to born in a poor family, but it's your responsibility where you going. And I will be here to help you with that journey. Yes?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Can the online people hear me? Yes, please put yes in the chat just so that I know that you're hearing me. All right, so now that we're done with introduction and my story, I want to start with a favorite quote, okay, for my presentation. So here's my favorite quote, and you all hear that all the time. The quote is, people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. And I see that in life, I see that in business. And that's why I had this workshop. I initially named it as a business plan to help you be successful, but it wasn't inspirational enough. So we had to change it to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit. Whatever it is, I will teach you how to plan the right way to increase your chance of success, okay? All right, so, and how do we plan that? So the next slide, it will talk about how to craft your personal vision statement. And you probably wonder in the back of your mind, like, Ms. Trinh, we here for business. We're not here to write our personal vision statement. And I will tell you the reason why that I always started with that for my client. They come to me. In my consulting career, I have about 350 business that I consult. Do you hear this? 350. So I have plenty. And they come to me and they say, Cathy, should I start this business? Should I start that business? What business should I start? And my answer has always been, I don't know. Show me your personal vision. Do you have one? Do you know what kind of person you want to become? Do you know where you're going? And 10 out of 10, they had nothing. They don't even know what personal vision is. Okay. So that's when I say, I cannot help you until you sit down and do some soul searching about your personal vision. Until then, that I can help you. So let's do it together. Okay. So what I want you to do, not in during the workshop, okay? I want you to go home and do it. And you don't have to take picture, by the way, because we will PDF this and we email to everybody. So what I will need you to do is focus, take notes, need to. So the very first thing is I need you to know who you want to be, okay? And I need you to know where you want to go. It doesn't matter you start a business, have a job, go back to school. You had to be able to answer the question. So how do you answer the question? I want you to sit down in a quiet place. If you have children, get away from them, okay? Maybe send them to daycare, school, babysitter, your husband, or maybe escape, go to a coffee shop, okay? And sit down in quiet and think really hard. And I want you to write down your life experiences. I want you to write down your family, your work, education. I want you to write down your success, but I also want you to write down your failure. A lot of time we learn more about our failure more than our successes. I know I do. And then I want you, from all of your life story, I want you to write down your passion and your calling. If you are Christian, maybe think, why do God put me on earth? What is my place here? Okay. And then after you already know your passion and calling, then I need you to list at least 5 of your core values. For example, for me, one of my core values is hard work. Being an immigrant, coming from a poor family, I know that I had to work 3 times harder than a normal person to get to where I am. Also, another of my core value is honesty. It doesn't matter how hard you work. If you do things the wrong way, it will come back and haunt you. So honesty is also really important. But for you, it can be something different. Okay. So you have to write down 5. All right. And then after you write all that, you will identify what motivates you. Okay. Why are you doing what you're doing? Like I told you, the reason why I study business, the reason why I choose a career in business consulting and education, because I saw that is what really the transformative power that lift my family out of poverty and really transform our lives. So that's my why. But your why can be different. So after you already go through all the exercise, I want you to make it into like 3 sentences, make it 50 words of that. And that will be like a North Star to help you, to guide you wherever you're going. Okay. So will you please do that before we start any business plan writing? Okay. All right. The online people, can you hear what I'm saying? Will you please do that? Yes, say yes. Okay, excellent. Now, after you do that, and you come to me and you ask me, should I start a business? What will I ask you? Where your personal vision plan? If you don't have one, then I will ask you to go back and do it, okay? And you will understand why. So here is why that writing your personal vision will help you decide if start a business is right for you. All right, so a lot of time people start business for the wrong reason. And we will go into another slide about what's the wrong reason why people start business. Also, it will help you to align with your lifestyle goal. For example, all right. So if you asked me like 10 years earlier, Professor Cathy Trinh, will you start a business? My answer is no. At that time, I did have you saw my two kids, right? They were like 0 and 3. There's no way that I can start a business, have a job, and be able to be there, be present for them. But now they're older, then I have that extra time. So is it going to align with your lifestyle goal? Does that help you to identify your strength and your weakness? And then does a vision, your vision align with the business ownership? Okay. And then if you have a personal vision, very clear, very straightforward, it will really, really help you with your decision making. It will help you through the tough time, because I promise you, you start business, there will be a tough time that you wish that you didn't start it. Okay. So I'm gonna pause right here and ask you any question. No? Okay. Well, that's one online. Okay. All right, so Jaden Silver put an online question. Should you write one before each business, or how often would you update these? So Jaden, the personal vision is for your entire life, okay? So I don't care, you start a business, you start a job, you go back to school, you get married, you should have one. And as a matter of fact, my children is 10 and 13, and I make them to write it down every single year. And right now they're only 10 and 13, so they don't know. But, I'm like, what kind of person you want to become? Oh, I want to be good in sport. Do you want to become a good person? Yes. Would you like to have a family in the future? Yes. So we write that, we do it every year. So my point, it doesn't have to be something that you have to marry to it. You can revise it every year or whenever, like there's a different life circumstance. And I promise you, Jaden, if you do it and you look at it, you will increase your chance of success many, many, many times over. I have done it with my own life, and I have done it for many of my students and my clients. And when they follow the process, it's really help them to remind of who they are, where they want to be, and it's really guide them to the right path. Okay, does that answer your question, Jaden? All right, so.
Yes, thank you.
All right, excellent. Let's go to the next one. All right. So here is a 15 wrong reason to start a business. And then for my in-person attendee, you have a question, raise your hand. Okay. I don't want to be that kind of professor who stand up here and talk nonstop, because I really dislike that kind of interaction. All right, so here's the 15 wrong reason to start a business. And you probably like, is there really a wrong reason? And like I said, remember I told you I have consulted over 350 businesses in the past. And I really, really ask people the hard question. And then after the hard question be asked, there's a lot of time I told my client, you are not ready to start a business. I need you to go back and do this homework, until you're ready, because I don't want you to, number one, waste your time, but also your hard-earned money and your energy go into the wrong direction. So what are the wrong reason? Okay. So the first one is, now social media, that TikTok, that YouTube, that 15-second video, you saw somebody start a business and the very next day they got rich, they make $1 million. So I have a lot of clients like that. It's like, Miss Trinh, I saw that, that social media, can you teach me how to do it? So they want to get rich quickly. Well, I'm here to tell you, and Andrea can here to tell you also, because she owned her business for 30 years. Success in life and in business, it takes time, it takes effort. It will not be an overnight master success, okay? Also, a lot of people, they heard about the term of business ownership. They heard it's really cool. We've glorified being your own boss. If you want to start a business because of that, that's not the right reason, just so you know. When you become a business owner, I make a joke that you are the chief executive officer, but you also the chief janitor officer, which means you decide the business as a leader, but you also have to be willing to do everything it takes, including take the trash out, okay, for the business to be successful. All right, then the next one is is easy. Again, another side effect of social media. When people post like all the success story, but they didn't post the struggle, how to get there. Some people, they actually hate their job. So they thought that, oh, you know what? I'm to go out and get a business and be my own boss. So yes, you will be your own boss, but also remember, and Andrea can verify that your client will be your boss. And because their friends are doing it, The fact that your friends are doing it, or maybe your mom or your dad or your cousin do it, doesn't mean that you should do it. And that's why I say everyone is different. That's why you had to go and write your personal vision to really figure out who you are and where you go. And do not compare yourself to your friend or your mom or your sister or whoever. They assume the idea will sell itself. It will not, okay? Unless you do a lot of homework about where your client, how do you generate revenue. I think we talk about being their own boss. Yes, you will not have a traditional boss, but you will answer to, like I said, every business will have a customer, and you better make your customer happy. As a matter of fact, I'm a professor. You think but then you guys are my boss. Every single semester, Andrea know there's a evaluation form that you fill out, and it goes straight to my boss. And by the way, she sits right there in the back. So everybody have a boss, okay? So don't think that because you are a business owner, you don't have a boss. If you don't do a good job, your client can go to Google or Yelp or whatever and give you a bad review, and there's nothing you can do about that. So if you come to business thinking you want to be your own boss, think otherwise. All right, and they want instant profit. No, that will not happen. When you start a business, it's not like you will make money right away. Sometimes that happen, but sometimes it takes a long time for you to break even and recap your expense that you put in the business. All right, next, if they think they can work less. No, when you own a business, and I'm being a business owner myself, I can guarantee you will work harder, at least in the beginning, to get the business up and going, okay? The next one is go back to my favorite quote. They do not have a clear plan, okay? And that's why you're here, so that I can teach you how to write a business plan. Because someone told them to, they rely on a passion. So I talked to some of you guys before the event, and yes, passion is wonderful. We need passion to do things, but on top of passion, we also need skill. That's why you go back to school, right? That's why you go to workshop like this. You need skill to make it a success. And then they think that, they could figure it out, they swing it. I'm sorry, but that will not happen. They expect no stress. If you are a student, you know that, balancing school already stressful, and then on a business on top of that is even more stress. So it will be more stressful, okay? And lastly, this is the favorite banker problem is they underestimate how much it costs to start a business. Okay, so those are all the common wrong reason to start a business. Okay, so now that I already preached you the importance of writing your personal vision, okay? I already preached the importance of writing a business plan. Let's talk about why you should write a business plan. And just so you know, when I consult my business client, most of them, they actually do not want to sit down and bother by writing a business plan. And I go back to my favorite quote. Hey, listen, people don't plan to fail, but they fail to plan. Okay, so maybe you spend like a day, 2 days, maybe a week to write your business plan, but that will really set you up for success. So when you have a business plan, number one, you have a strategic roadmap, okay? And then having a business plan is much easier to secure the funding. You can email it to potential investor or banker, and they can take a look and they can decide that's something that they would like to support you or not. It's also easier to identify potential opportunity because you have everything in writing. And lastly, let's just say that you have a partner, you have employee, it can act like an operational guidance. You can share with your partner, you can share with your employees, and so that it's not in your head. Are you with me so far? So there are all the benefits of writing a business plan. But if you don't believe all that, let's throw you some number, okay, by some study, by very credible organization. So anybody heard about the SBA? Raise your hand. Okay, I saw 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so SBA stands for Small Business Administration. So they do a study, and here they find out that a business will fund a business plan are 2.5 times. Are you with me so far? Which means 250% more likely to get funding. Okay, and you hear my accolade. During my career, I will be able to secure $27 million of funding for my client. And you bet that every single of them I work with, they all have a business plan, okay? They experience higher growth rate. So the Kaufman Foundation, which also a very, very famous organization in entrepreneurship, they report that business with a plan grow 30% faster than those without. It also helped them to improve performance and it reduced the risk. So the Kaufman Foundation also found that the entrepreneur with a plan, 50%. Are you with me so far? 50% less likely to close their business within the first 5 years. All right. So all the reason is good enough for you to dedicate some time and effort to write your business plan. It's yet not your head. Online people, if you hear me, would you please put yes in the chat so that I know that you've been listening and following my presentation. All right, so now let's talk about what in the world's business plan, okay? So a business plan will have those components. And the first one is executive summary, okay? The next one will be business description and vision, which mean what is your business? Earlier I asked you, right? And where do you want it to go? And then of course you need to do a market analysis about who your client, where they at. And then you must have a portion dedicated to what kind of product and services that you're offering. And then you want to go to the organization and management, which means who will be helping you to execute this business. You probably will have some partner, some employee, some helper, and then how marketing and sales strategy is how you market it and sell it. And then this is optional, but you should also have an operation plan, which means what are your day-to-day operation. And lastly, what I found the most challenging for either my student or my client is financial plan projection. People that don't like number, y'all. So, but that is actually, in my opinion, one of the most important part of business. And then lastly, since you are a college student, you should have appendix, right? Where did you code all the information in there? So that is the snapshot of business plan. All right. So I'm gonna pause right here for both in-person and online people. I think that we're doing well with time. I finally catch up. Do you have any questions for me so far? Yes, and come up here and speak louder because if you don't mind, because what happened is the audio is already up here. So I hope I don't put you on the spot. Yeah, go up here. All right, speak again.
So my question is, if you are like a solo entrepreneur or someone who just has a business on their own, how would you recommend the same business plan, like to go more in depth or I guess more personalized for yourself?
Excellent question, by the way. So what I show you is a full blow business plan, okay? And if you really execute, it's about anywhere from like 11 to like 15 pages, depend on how really you want, how detailed you want it to be. Some people, they make it like 50 pages. Please don't do that, keep it short. Nobody have time to read 50 pages. But to answer her question, some entrepreneurs, they just don't have the patience to go through all that. Then I also have different way of doing it. I actually have one-page business plan, which I will not share during this presentation because again, we only have 1 hour. But for you, I don't have time to go through everything that Mr. say. Still, Google, let's say one-page business plan, and it will come up like with one page, and you can fill it out. And to me, that is the minimum. I mean, you can fill out one page within that 15 minutes, right? I do not recommend it. That's why I don't think I ever teach it in my online course. I prefer something more detailed, but if that's what you can do, it's better than nothing. Does that answer your question? Excellent. All right. Any other question for the online people? Okay. No question, right? All right, let's keep going. All right, so we talk about executive summary. So this is the very first page that you see when you get a business plan, but this is actually the portion that you want to write last. Okay, are you with me so far? And the reason why you write last, because it is a summary of your entire business. And that's where it's supposed to be only a page. Are you with me so far? So it's more than a page, it's too long, right? If you ever read a book, right, there's always like an opening word, okay, one page. And it's really like a way for them to hook you in. So you want to tell a very compelling story, who you are, what you do, and why does it matter? You want to define your goal and your objective. And then, like I said earlier, it had to be less than one page. If you go to like a page and a half, I need you to go back and rewrite again. And you wonder, like, how is it going to look like? So this is what an executive summary look like for a coffee shop, okay? And I'm not going to read it to you because everything. Can you see it, by the way? All right. Online people, can you see my summary for a coffee shop? And if not, then I can read it to you. For company overview, this is what I say. Forward Brew is a specialty coffee shop offering high quality, locally roasted coffee in a welcoming community space. Our mission is to create vibrant coffee culture and forward to handcraft beverage and exceptional services. Does it sound really exciting? Does it sound really inviting? Does it really make you want to go to that place? Yes. And then it go on about market opportunity, what's the business model, how they make money. They go also the competitive advantage, and then they touch a little bit on financial and funding, which I really appreciate because I'm a former banker. So to see the money upfront is really helpful for me to see it's something I want to invest in or not. And lastly, it talk about the future outlook. Okay, so that executive summary look like. Any question? No? All right. All right, next, let's talk about business description and vision. So the next portion is you want to go straight to what this business is about. So you want to talk about like what is the product or service the business offer. So earlier, Andrea shared with you that she owned a barber shop, right? So your business offer barbering service, right? And then I think that somebody shared that he want to start a hospitality business. So maybe it's a hotel, maybe it's Airbnb, bed and breakfast. And I think that you want to start a skincare business, which sounds really exciting to me because we all need better skincare, right? So that's where you define what kind of product service you offer, and then who are your customer. It depends on your business. For Andrea, I would imagine that since you offer a barber shop, mostly your client will be men, right? Mhm.
Women.
Right. And then for the skincare business, I would imagine mostly women. I'm sure that you can have male. I mean, male deserves good skincare too, right? But women usually, like give more money, more effort, more energy to that. And for the hospitality business, I would imagine that most of your client, it can be men and women, it's probably tourists, right? People who come and visit the area and they need a nice place to stay. So that's where your customer. How do you reach them? This is where it get very interesting. We go there for a different slide. And how do you fund the business? Okay, so that is for business description and vision. All right, so let's talk about market analysis. This is one you want to go really deep about your customer. First is who are your customer, and I'm gonna use the skincare business and then the hospitality because there's a two different. For hospitality, you do have a business location. Are you with me so far? Right. For Andrea, your business what in Dallas, I guess. All right. So because your business does have a location, you want to focus, on the vicinity around that, okay? But for the skincare, the reason I choose the skincare business to demonstrate is for skincare, anybody with money can buy it. Am I correct? So it's actually more challenging for your business, which means that your client can be anywhere within the United States. But maybe in the future, you want to expand international. You want to go Canada, Mexico, whatever. And the reason why we had to understand our clients so that we can zero in. Are you with me so far? And really understand who they are so that we can reach them. Okay. And then next is you want to understand what do they buy and why. You want to understand their need, the preference, the motivation to buy your product. So earlier, I talked with our friend about the skincare, and she shared that she make her own skincare from organic, natural ingredients. Are you with me so far? So she really liked that, and she want to bring it to people. So in your case, your client, I would imagine, is probably like a little bit on a younger demographic who appreciate clean beauty, okay? Probably mostly female. And in my opinion, probably had to have some disposable income, like, probably they should make around $40,000 to $50,000 annual income to be able to afford your skincare, because I would imagine it's not cheap to make organic, natural skincare. Am I correct? All right. Andrea, would you like to share who your ideal client?
That, I will probably the younger, the teenage to grade school year, because they last longer and they stay with me longer than some of the other customers that just come in. They'll just keep with me, but like they be 25 or 30 and they still be covered too. So I kind of focus on the younger generation.
Oh, that's why you're on Instagram. She's on Instagram, we connected. So now I understand why, because we have an Instagram presence, we are connected, and I, in the beginning, I kind of like assumed that her client like the older gentleman, but I was that wrong. So thank you so much for sharing. And that is very smart, Sally, did you hear what she said? He preferred a younger client, because if they like her, they more likely to stay with her, and because they're younger. You know what, every person need a haircut, right? Or you probably what, every month? Right, so if you're younger, you're more likely to stay with longer.
The hair grows faster than they used to come from.
Right, so that's why she understand her client very well, you know, and that's what you have to do. You have to really dig deep to understand your client and then know who they are and then why they buy, understand the motivation. And when you have identified the villain, it's more likely to do your business, okay? Question? Okay. Hi, online attendee, can you all hear us, by the way? Okay, excellent, because I had to step away and talk with my in-person. All right, excellent. All right, let's see. All right, so now let's talk about what, if you don't know your customer, cannot develop a strategy to reach them. And I want you to spend a lot of time to really build a persona of your client. And better yet, if you could do like for our skincare business owner, you can come out and interview them, you know, like find a few people and really understand like what they need, and you will be able to build your product because you know what you need. But what you need doesn't mean that that's what the client need, right? And I'm same with Andrea. I'm sure you talk with your client all the time because I'm sure your taste is different with your younger demographic. But that's why that, you know, you had to talk with them, you follow them on Instagram back and forth so that you can keep in touch with them. Am I correct? All right, now that we already understand where our client come from, who they are, why do they buy, how do we get them? Let's talk about marketing and sales strategy, okay? And I know I keep go back to Andrea because when she was in my class and we talk about how to keep in touch, and I was surprised that she was on Instagram, you know. But like she said, you know, her client is younger, so if she get on Facebook, it's very unlikely that she will get any of them. You know, Facebook is for not to disrespect the people from Facebook. I have a Facebook account, but if you do a little bit study about the one who have a TikTok, you know, or Snapchat, or Instagram, or LinkedIn, or Facebook, or X. By the way, did I miss anything so far? I cover all the social media, right? So the Instagram and the Snapchat and the TikTok is for a little bit younger demographic, okay? And the Facebook and LinkedIn for a little bit older demographic. In your case, skincare, I would imagine because it's so visual, Instagram would be a good one. You know, that would be a good one for you to reach them. And then marketing and sales is so much more than social media. I hope you understand that. The only reason I brought it up because, you know, I just happen to have my student here and I know her strategy, but there is so much more than, you know, social media. All right. The next thing that I need you to do after you understand with your client, how to reach them, how to do marketing, I need you to go and do a competition analysis. Okay. So for Andrea, I would imagine you kind of like want to drive around and see the hill around your neighborhood to see who else doing, you know, something similar. You want to understand their strengths and their weaknesses, and then how they market their product because they will take some of the client away from you, right?
Okay.
All right.
So
I would love to see that.
So for the first maybe 30 years, I was in DeSoto. And I've always worked at salons. So that's another thing up there I have because when you work in salons, you don't get walk-ins or anything, but the people that are in there getting the hair service for the kids and husbands. So that's not my clientele.
In-house referral.
And it's like word of mouth. But if you, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Who are your competitors?
Oh, so 5 years ago, I moved to a salon type barbershop. There are at least eight, 9 more barbers, and I've never been in nothing like that. So you have to kind of go around and say, "Oh, what you doing?"
Study your competitor, right?
Study competitors because it can get funny.
Right, and do you hear what he said? Okay, and then for your case with the skincare, I bet If you start your business skincare, you will not be the only one who offer clean beauty out there, right? I mean, there are always quite a few. So what you really want to do is to go and study them, not to copy and paste, because that means you are the copycat. Just to find something unique about it. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so let's talk about organization and management. The first thing is very, very, very important. What will be your legal structure? Which means what is the business entity that you will put your business under? So you in my class, you will know that there is something called sole proprietorship, okay? And sole proprietorship is only mean that you are the business, okay? It's very simple to start. It only take about $25. You go to the county clerk, you ask to get a DBA, which means doing business ad. The problem with this one is the unlimited liability because you are the business. Okay, so let us say somebody sue you, they can go after your personal asset. Do not let me scare you because most business in America is actually sole proprietorship. For example, if you like do hair and you do nail, most of the hair and nail people I know are sole proprietorship because it's so easy, it's so quick and so cheap. But if you want to start a skincare business, okay, I do not recommend that because your product will be everywhere in United States. What I recommend you is to file a corporation, okay? And it actually doesn't cost a whole lot. If you use a lawyer, it costs more. If you do it yourself, the filing fee is only $350, I believe, last time I checked. So after you have your legal structure, okay, you want to move to leadership and organization. If you are solopreneur, which means you one person business, you probably think like, I don't need a team. I do hair, I do nail, I just do it by myself. I would here to tell you that no, that's not true. You usually have a team. You just don't know it. For example, if you have a business at the end of the year, you have to go and get your tax return filed, right? Are you with me so far? So you need a tax person. So that person, even though is not your employee, but that's in your team, right? If you have a business, you have to go out to the bank and open a business bank account. Are you with me so far? So that business banker will be, the one in your team, okay? And if you need to file for a corporation, you need a lawyer. Are you with me so far? Then that lawyer will be a part of your team. What I'm trying to help you understand is you cannot do it by yourself, okay? If you think that this is like a one-man sport or one woman sport, no, it's not. It's a team sport. Repeat after me. Business ownership is a team sport. You need a team to help you. You will not be able to do everything by yourself. And the faster you understand that and the faster you find the team member to help them with the journey, your journey will be easier. Okay? So the online people, did you hear that? Yes. Put it on the chat, please. All right, so let's go to the next one. And here is a very elaborate organizational chart. Most business do not have that. Here is a restaurant, by the way. Did I remember somebody in the restaurant? Yes, okay. So most restaurants don't have this, just so you know. Most restaurants, they have an owner, the owner uses the cook, and then maybe she have a front desk, a person, and then she have a couple of waiter, waitress, and then chef, and that's it. This is like a full blowout with president, the owners, you have an office manager, a general manager, a director of marketing, and then under that, they have the bar manager, dining manager, kitchen manager, facility manager. So, but the reason I put it out is for you to think, like right now, maybe my restaurant only have 3 people. But let's just say that I have a vision to grow it to like a franchise, right? Or like a national or global brand. This is all the team members I have to bring in to make it successful.
Kathy, there's a question on there.
Okay, thank you. Is it gone? And by the way, if we have time, I'm happy to talk about that because with my track record of 27 million of business funding, I know everything under the sun about funding and investor but let's see what time. Okay, all right, keep going. Okay, now here's the slide that everyone dreaded and refused to do. When I teach this class, this slide is the slide that people miss assignment the most. They just don't turn it in. And I don't understand why, because in my opinion, this is the most important slide. And I will make it easy. It's called financial and projection. For financial, what I need you to do is sit down and write out all the costs it requires to open your business, okay? So we have a restaurant person, right? And later there's a slide about restaurants. So actually, sorry, that's not um and it's called the startup cost, and if you don't know what the cost, you can Google it, you can go and ask people, but you had to write out every cost to start your business, because you don't include it, you will underfund. And then when your cash is run out, game over. Okay. And then after you write out all the costs it's required to start your business, you have to decide where in the world you get the money to start your business. Okay, that's when it gets fun. Most business is actually from personal saving. Okay, I think it's like 60-70%. It comes from your personal saving. But you can also go and ask for investment for your friend and your family. If they love you, they trust you, they know what kind of person you are. If they believe in your business, most likely they will invest in you. And then a small portion go to traditional bank loan. And that's where my expertise come in. I used to be a former banker. I did all kind of loan in the past. And if the business is bankable, especially with a business plan, did you hear me? Then I will work with you to help you get bank loan. Sometimes it's not qualified for bank loan. There are actually a lot of business that's not qualified for bank loan. Then that's when you go to private investor. So there are actually a lot of group of private investor. There one right here in Fort Worth. I used to work with them. It's called Cowtown Angel. If you Google Cowtown Angel, they accept application. In Texas, it's called North Texas Angel Network. Did you hear me? North Texas Angel Network. So that is within DFW area, but there are also many venture capital and angel investor network. And that topic require another 2 hour of webinar. We don't have time, but if you request it, maybe I offer in the future. Okay. All right. Okay, so if your credit is bad, then we need to sit down and have a conversation because it will affect you in a lot of way. Okay. Um, so and by the way, it's actually not that hard to improve your credit. I have had many clients, and reason why. And by the way, when your credit is bad, it doesn't have any implication when you file for incorporation. Okay, they don't ask for your credit report or your social security. It's only when that you go out and apply for a business credit card. Or are you with me so far? Or you go out and apply for a business loan that they require that. But if you go a different route for, let's say, angel investor, then they don't ask for that. So does that answer your question? All right, I'm gonna keep moving on because it's already 1:20 and I want to get you out here by 1:30. Okay. So if you wonder, like, Professor Trinh, what startup cost should I put? Okay, so we have a slide right there. Can you all see that? And this is a startup cost for childcare. Anybody have children in this room? Yeah, I see a few, but not a whole lot. Maybe I should pick a better, a different one. So to start childcare first, you must have educational supply, right? And that's the cost. Of course, you must have a flyer, business card, you must have a website, that's the cost. The cost is very reasonable, by the way. And then, of course, you need furniture. I saw that they put the fence at the very first one, which I really appreciate, because we do not want to lose the child, right? They run off and then, your business gone forever. And then, of course, you laugh. Um, and then of course, we did furniture for the children, we did kitchen, we did housekeeping. And then we did all the admin expense like business phone licensing, insurance, legal, and here's how much it costs for the one-time cost. Are you with me so far? One time. So there are one-time costs, but then also there are recurring costs. For example, for insurance, I would imagine you have to pay for business insurance every year. For electricity, I bet you have to pay for electricity every month, right? So that's why I say, sit down, really spend some time, write out all the costs. And a child care center will be different with a barber, will be different with skincare, will be different with restaurant. And nowadays with ChatGPT and Google, you can look it up. It's very easy. It's not a secret. All right. Now, after we all figure out how much is the cost to start business, you had to do the next thing. It's called profit and loss projection. And it is actually sound very fancy. It only means like how much money you anticipate to make. What is your cost of running this will be, and are you going to make any money at the end of the day? And how long does it take to recover your cost? Okay. So for you to have you understand how does it work, I believe I do have a slide for a restaurant. Okay, so earlier I think the childcare is not a good one because a lot of students are younger, they don't have kids. But for restaurant, we all go out to eat, right? So we understand what it costs, it takes to start a restaurant. So for this restaurant, this is just like a fisherman, they anticipate the first year they make $250,000, they expect that the second year they will make 300, and then the third year 350, okay? But do they get to take home all the money? No, okay. So that is the food sale, they have a beverage sale, they have all the sale, and then finally that's whole revenue. Are we good so far? But again, they don't get to take home the money, right? They have the cost, they call cost of goods sold. And for the skincare, that'll be very similar to what you're doing, because you would have your skincare, but then of course you have the cost of goods sold would be whatever is going to make that skincare. And then they have the food and the beverage, and now they have the gross profit, okay? But again, and they take the gross profit home. Now, after that, they still have something called all foreign expense. Guess what? When you have a restaurant, you have to pay rent, right? Unless you have a home business, everybody has to pay rent. And then, of course, they have to pay utility. Restaurant costs a lot of gas and electricity. They probably have some waiter and waitress and servers. They have to pay a salary. They have to pay for marketing, maintenance, supply, insurance, all of that. This is the net profit, okay? And this is what they take home. Are we good? All right. So this is what we, the account people, call the bottom line, okay? And the very top part of revenue is called the top line. So for the in-person and online attendee, you have a question for me? Because this is the portion that the more challenging and difficult for my student and my client. So I want to spend a couple minutes to answer any question you might have before I go on to the next slide. No, you guys are super smart, by the way. All right. So I don't expect to cover everything within my 1 hour of workshop. That will be impossible. But I know that you still have questions, maybe not right now, but maybe like tonight when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, what is he talking about? What does that mean? Or maybe 2 weeks from now on. So what do? If you don't sign up for my class, which is fine, but you can go and get free mentorship. And the place that I always send people go is called Fort Worth. And by the way, Andrea, they are everywhere. It's not only in Fort Worth. The reason I choose Fort Worth is because we are in Fort Worth, but they are in Dallas.
I'm tell you something, I've been working for my son's business. She told me to tell you how Karen Buggage.
Okay.
Baggage. I think it's Karen Buggage, SBC.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she knows.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I know everybody. So for all of you, what SCORE is stand for Service Corps of Retired Executive. They are retired people who really want to help community and give back. So they don't want to sell you anything. Okay, they are volunteer. They will sit down with you. They will help you with whatever you need to get your business going. Are you with me so far? They have a location right here in Fort Worth. But let us say that you're not from Fort Worth. You're from Hurt, Euless, South Lake, Dallas, whatever. They everywhere. Okay, they are a nationwide organization that I recommend and vouch for with my life because I work with them and I know that they are good people. All right, if you wonder what's all the online resource I can get, so I put the link in there. You can Google it. Okay, for example, if you want to get free online business training and Miss Trinh is not here to offer it to you, you can get it from the SBA. You also get free sample business plan from B Plans. Also, there's all kind of event that you can go and network. Like right now, I don't see anybody exchange contact information. You should, because everybody in here wants to start a business. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, right? So here's some event. There's 1 Million Cup for Work. Their business plan competition, which I attend every year and highly recommend it. There's Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is absolutely phenomenal. I think I told Andrea about that. And there's also Startup Weekend. And if you Google all that stuff, it will show up, and then you can go and network and then have a blast. Yes.
So would this be in notes that those the websites you gave for starting up? The ones just took off the screen, they be in the notes when you send out paperwork.
Yeah, I will PDF the presentation and send it to you. So
Okay.
everything will be there. Don't worry. Okay, so let's talk about sign-in sheet. So for the in-person people, you already signed up front, right? You already got your promotional item, right? But then for the online people, Felicia, would you please put the link in the chat because if you sign in, you provide your address. then what happened is we will send you a promotional item. So free stuff. Who doesn't want free stuff, right? All right. So the next one is evaluation survey. So with this, what you can do, you can whip out your smartphone and then take the QR code. And it is only 5 questions. It is completely anonymous. Anybody so far? So if you absolutely hate this presentation, let me know anyway. Because I want to improve. So if you love it, let me know. And I will not be able to know your name or where you live. Okay, completely anonymous. And you laugh. But I take it very seriously. I read every single evaluation because I really want to give you the best experience possible. And again, for the online people, I apologize for the technical issue. And let me see it. I can copy and paste the form so I can put it in the chat for you. So online people, did you get my form? Okay, yes, it already in there. All right, I will give you like 1 minute to do that. And then while you guys doing that, what I want to do is I want to thank Student Services to put this event together. Is a lot to put together a hybrid event, okay, and provide food and promotional item, and they really deliver and easy. So thank you so much, Felicia. It's a lot to do that, and thank you so all for coming. I would like to thank you, my boss, Dr. Moore, to come and support me. She's in the back. Come say hi to her. And let's see. And the next slide is if you like this event and if you are on LinkedIn or Google and if you like to give me a review, I will take review. I love review. Okay, it tell me I do a good job or not. You can scan the QR code and give a review. If not, no pressure. I'm gonna move on to the very last slide. Here's my LinkedIn. If you happen on LinkedIn, you want to connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn. That's my profile picture. Also, you can connect with me on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram. I believe I have similar profile picture. And if you have any question, my email is right there. Okay. So let's keep in touch. Let's go home, do your personal vision, write your business plan, and be successful. All right. Thank you, everybody.